This is 1.3 GCSE Maths, looking at how to convert mixed numbers to improper fractions. So up until this point, we've been dealing with this number line, and we've discussed all these different fractions between 0 and 1. And we discussed the idea of proper fractions in the first video. And we decided that a proper fraction was where the numerator is smaller than the denominator. And so an improper fraction is where the numerator is greater than the denominator. For example, 9 over 6 or 10 over 3. And these are numbers which are greater than 1. So for example, 3 over 2 is an improper fraction because the 3 on the top is greater than the 2 at the bottom. And this is clearly not between 0 and 1, it's greater than 1, it's between 1 and 2. But that 3 over 2 that we've got there can be expressed in another way, because we can clearly see that it's some way to 1 and then some fraction between 0 and 1, because obviously the gap between here and here is the same as the gap between here and here. Well, that means that we can move to the 1 and then move some fraction along to reach that 3 over 2. And indeed 3 over 2 is equal to 1 and a half. And this is a mixed number because it's made up of a whole number and a proper fraction. But how do we convert? How do we go from here to here? And how do we go from here to here? Well, we will look at mixed numbers to improper fractions here. This is 1.3, and this up here is going to be 1.4 we'll look at in the next video. But for now, we will just do mixed numbers to improper fractions. So, if I take a mixed number, for example, I take 3 and 2 sevenths. If I draw that on my number line, I'd have 3 here, I'd have 4 here, and 3 and 2 sevenths is about here. And I want to convert that to an improper fraction. The improper fraction will be of the same denominator as the mixed number. So it will be something over 7. Okay? 3 and 2 sevenths is equal to 3 plus 2 sevenths. That's literally what this means, right? If I look at my 3 here, we've obviously discussed that fractions a over b equals a divided by b. So 3 is equal to 3 over 1, because anything divided by 1 is still itself. So this is 3 over 1 plus 2 sevenths. We'll be able to find a quick way to do this, but this is just to fully draw out the method to show you why it works. And then, how do we add these fractions? Well, again, we discussed in 1.2 that whatever you do to the top of the fraction, you use the bottom of the fraction, and it will remain equal. And I can make these both over 7, and we'll look in a future video about how to add fractions. But here, this stays 2 over 7. This 1 is going to be multiplied by 7, and so this 3 is also multiplied by 7 to give me 21. So I have 21 over 7 plus 2 over 7, which is 23 over 7. So that's the rationale as to how to convert my 3 and 2 sevenths to an improper fraction. There is a shortcut to do this, and the shortcut is simply this. I'll replicate my denominator, so copy the 7 on the denominator, do the number here, multiply it by the denominator, 3 times 7, 21, and add the numerator, 23. And this will work for all mixed numbers. We'll do a couple of examples. If I take, for example, 2 and a quarter, and I want that as an improper fraction, step 1, replicate denominator. Step 2, do a whole number multiplied by denominator. Step 3, add numerator. And that 3-step method is exactly the same as this long drawn out process I did here, but just a shortcut. So, step 1, replicate denominator. Just copy the 4 over. Step 2, do whole number by 2 times the denominator, which is 4. That's 8. Then add the numerator, which is 1. And that's the numerator of the improper fraction. The answer is 9 over 4. Can do it again. If I had, say, something more complicated, 6 and 6. I'm going to replicate my denominator. I'm going to do my whole number 6 times my denominator 6, which is 36. And add my numerator of 1, which is 37 over 6. I'll do one more. If I had, say, 8 and 2 over 7, so 8 and 2/7. Replicate the denominator, do whole number times the denominator, and add the numerator. That's 56, and then add 2 is 58, 58 over 7. And that is simply how you convert mixed numbers to improper fractions 0 and 1.4.